Hi and welcome back to the last video in the professional grooming series, and in today's video we will talk about your body language and how you're supposed to conduct yourself at the workplace. So we'll talk a little bit about your conduct, your body language, and what kind of attitude you should have at work. So let's start. So first and foremost, it really helps if you smile and maintain a positive attitude throughout the day while you are at work. So if I talk about myself personally, of course, I've gone through some difficult times in my life, but once I get to work, I know I have to put this hat on where it's almost like performance mode, and I'm not really supposed to show to my colleagues and to my trainees or anybody that I'm working with what I'm going through and whether I'm sad or angry or upset about something. So while I'm at work, I have to be professional. So I enter the building, I smile and I greet everyone. So that's the kind of attitude you should have at work, where you maintain a positive disposition. In some past videos, I have discussed body language, and I've always stressed on the fact that you have to maintain positive body language where you are not being too casual, you're not leaning on stuff, you're not loosey-goosey and giving out the vibe that you're not taking this seriously, you're too casual. At the same time, you're not slouching too much, you're not trying to hide within yourself, because you may not be the most social person and you may not be the most confident person, or you're not being too defensive by guarding yourself and giving out the vibe that you're not open to talking, you're not a friendly person, and you're closing yourself up to others. So what you can do is, normally when you're standing or sitting or talking to somebody, you have to keep your shoulders square, your back straight, and keep your body language open and welcoming, where if somebody wants to talk to you, you seem like you are approachable. Another big part of seeming professional and just seeming like a positive person is to maintain eye contact when you're talking to people, which also applies to video calls or meetings or even casual conversations. Maybe you are having a conversation with your boss or somebody in the management, and if you don't make eye contact, it's extremely rude and unprofessional. So irrespective of the fact that you could be, like I said, may not be very social, or you could be nervous around them, or you could be busy, or you could have something on your mind, this still doesn't give you the pass to ignore when somebody is talking to you. And even if you're listening and you're thinking, you're paying attention to what they're saying, if you're not looking at them, they're not going to believe that you're actually paying attention. So make sure that whenever somebody is talking to you, especially when it's one-to-one and somebody is talking directly to you, that you tear yourself off the reports, off your laptop, off your phone, and you look at people, acknowledge and respond even through your body language by nodding, smiling, encouraging them to talk. So please maintain eye contact, look at people. I have spoken in detail about eye contact in my previous videos, like the public speaking video, where you don't have to do it aggressively, you can take short breaks, but at the same time make sure that you maintain eye contact. Next is approachability and friendliness. So I'm sure there must be some people at the workplace who annoy you, some people who irritate you and you just can't stand them. But unfortunately, like I said, we have to put our professional hat on, and we still have to appear civil and seem civil even with these people. And of course, just like anybody else, even I get irritated at times when there could be too much work pressure, I could have too many things going on, and then if somebody comes up to me and they are looking for advice or help, maybe I may not be really keen on doing that. But again, this is a part of professionalism where you just seem like you're a very approachable person, you're a friendly person. So whenever somebody comes up to you, you're like, hi, and they're like, oh, I need to ask you a question, you're like, yeah, sure, tell me. And you do seem genuine when you're doing that. This is what separates really professional people from the regular crowd, where people find it easy to find a mentor in them. They find it easy to talk to you, they know that you're approachable and you're generally like a nice guy or a nice person and you're a friendly person, so they can always come up to you when they need to. Next is teamwork and helpfulness. So we are all a part of some sort of a team. Sometimes these teams are really clearly divided. Other times maybe I could be a manager, I could be a senior manager, but I would still be a part of a department, or I could be a part of a business, or even if it's nothing else, then we are all like a family in an organization, and I have to think of it like that. If I have the kind of attitude where I'm like, okay, this is not my work, I have done all of my work and I already have too much on my plate, I cannot help others, I can't take other people's responsibilities, I can't complete their tasks, I can't support them because it's not my job, or it's my team's project, why should I help another team, or something like that. This kind of mindset would not take you too far. You have to keep yourself open, and you always have to think like a team player, even when it's not your immediate team. So this is about generally coming across as somebody who is helpful, somebody who always wants to support others, who is always a team player or a good player in the organization, and also somebody who takes initiatives. So it could even be you noticing that somebody is struggling, or somebody from the other team is struggling, or another business, and maybe you are good at something and you just decide to help them out. Of course, this would always fetch you brownie points, so you can go ahead and do something like this and show people that you're a good team player and that you are a helpful person at work. I feel like people don't give enough credit to soft skills like modulation and animation. Now, I have discussed this also in detail in my past videos. I think I also talked about this in my public speaking video, so you can check that out. But generally speaking, modulation, which is the sing-song quality in your voice, like I'm talking right now, like the sing-song quality, and also animation in terms of your expressions. This kind of supports what we talked about earlier in terms of you seeming approachable, you seeming friendly and helpful. This goes along with it because sometimes your words really don't sound like you mean them unless your tone matches it and your expression kind of matches that. So make sure that you are modulating your voice when you're talking to people. Like I told you earlier, even when you meet somebody, imagine if you meet them like, hi, how can I help you? So this would not support. You are actually saying you're extending help to somebody, but your tone is not really matching that, your expression is not matching that, because you seem irritated, your tone is monotonous. Instead of doing this, if you are like, hi, how can I help you, or can I help you with something, then you seem more genuine. So make sure that your tone in terms of modulation and your expressions in terms of being animated supports what you are saying and what you're doing at work. Next is to make a conscious effort to use formal language and to remain soft-spoken while you are at work. So what happens is, when we get used to the system, when we have spent enough time with the company, then we get too comfortable, we have too many friends, and we know how to manage our schedule and things like that, and we just get really comfortable and kind of let ourselves go a little bit. And that's when, for example, we stop speaking in English at work maybe, or we start talking in a casual way. So we could be standing at the end of the bay, and if I had to call my friend, I could be like, oye chal, break nikal jayega, something like that. So we get into this casual mindset where we think it's okay now because I'm used to the system now, and we start using informal language, we become loud, we become too casual. So this would again put you in that category that may not succeed as much as somebody who consciously practices professionalism. They are paying attention to what kind of image they are projecting. They are always focused on their growth, and they always act like where they want to reach and who they want to become. So in that sense, I would stress on the fact that you still have to sound like a professional and practice formal language and remain soft-spoken while you are at work, because you never know who's watching and who's listening.